All right, so what's up, guys? It's your boy Wishyouluckk back at it again. Another YouTube video. If you're watching my last video, or if you were just finished watching my last video, this is kind of a continuation into the next video. If you're not, then hello, brand new video about the sandbox changes that are coming. That are, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I have not read these changes. I've only read one change that we'll go over as we cover the changes. Now, so far, the entirety of Destiny 2 Twitter, which is a cesspool, don't get me wrong, Destiny 2 Twitter is fucking awful. The entitlement, the racism, the just like the bigotry, the disgusting human behavior on Twitter is, take Twitter in doses, man. Like, I've turned my Twitter into a business Twitter where I just buy stuff, but I don't really focus on Twitter opinions anymore. Like, I just block people and move about with my life. So Bungie is making a lot of changes next season. Next season is kind of soon. This is a great change. Just to, right off the bat, it looks like right off the bat they're putting their best change first, right? They're like, all right, we're gonna separate the melee actions, and this is amazing. Obviously, this is amazing. Everyone has talked about, oh, I threw my knife, or I threw my smoke, or I threw my knives, or yeah. And when I tried to melee, it's frustrating. You go to melee somebody on a hunter, you end up throwing a knife, you miss, you die. It's really annoying. So this is great. Don't get me wrong. Incredible change. Thank you for this change. Sandbox lead Kevin Yanes laid out our vision for seeing how it's fitting into the Destiny 2 sandbox. Our philosophy for ability design is that ability should complement the core combat of Destiny but not dominate it. It should enhance the game's gunplay but not replace it. Season 15 ability balance pass. For Season 15, we've prepared a slew of balance changes to raise up underperforming subclasses and tone down overperforming subclasses. The goal of these changes is to make being frozen by stasis less frustrating. So they're nerfing stasis. Frozen players can now initiate breakout while airborne. Okay. Shorten breakout animation and camera transition. Okay. Differentiated long freeze and short freeze. Okay. They're nerfing stasis. That's fine. I don't care. Being frozen in an FPS is stupid anyway. It should have never been a thing. The only thing that stasis should have ever brought to Destiny 2 was slowing, but conversation for another day, I guess, right, Kevin Yanes? Slide. This is the dumbest change I've ever seen in Destiny. This is the dumbest change I've ever seen in an FPS, period, ever, and I'll explain to you why. The goal of this slide change is to slightly reduce the effectiveness of sliding into engagements to gain the upper hand. First and foremost, sliding into engagement is a fluidity thing. Movement is a fluidity thing. It feels better to run into a doorway and slide into the doorway and look for a target to shoot. It just feels better. The game feels, it flows, it makes more sense to do something like that. The biggest reason why you slide into doorways, the biggest reason why you slide into engagements is because you are trying to avoid sitting at sniper headshot lineup, right? A good sniper is going to put his mouse right next to the door where he believes you're gonna come walking around the corner, right? That's what great snipers do. We've been doing this shit since literally FPSs have ever been a thing. If you're sniping or if you're pre-aiming at a doorway, you're aiming right where their head's gonna turn the corner, right? Makes sense. The goal of this slide change is to slightly reduce the effectiveness of sliding into engagements to gain the upper hand. It just doesn't make sense. Like, they want people to run to a doorway and then walk around the corner. What is that going to do? It's going to buff snipers. It's not even an indirect buff. It's a direct buff to snipers. What are snipers extremely easy to use on? So anybody who sees this change, who plays with this and snipes, is like fucking jerking off right now. There's nut all over the fucking room. He's just covered in jizz. South Park, you know what I'm talking about. That's that meme, South Park. He's like sitting in the chair like this. There's just nut everywhere. They buffed controller sniper so hard next season. So hard. I'd be so surprised to see anyone play mouse and keyboard shoddy anymore. Legitimately. I'm probably gonna do all my recovs with a controller sniper from now on. Why? Because they can't turn the corner with their hand cannon and slide and flinch me. So I'm just like, God, it doesn't make sense, dude. Like, this isn't even a competitive thing. You guys are the fucking people who hate me and shit are gonna watch this video and they're gonna be like, oh, Wish is mad because he can't shotgun anymore. Shut the fuck up, first off. Secondly, I don't need any gun to be good at Destiny. I've proven this thousands of times. You put white weapons into my hands and I can get kills in Destiny. Destiny isn't hard to get kills in. It's hard for you because you fucking suck. And no matter how much they change things in the game, you're still gonna suck, dude. And I actually take that back because I saw 0.7s go to 1.7s because of stasis. So neither here nor there. The point is, I'm still gonna dookie on you because this change isn't going to, it's just going to make me play with this. Like, I'm just going to play with controller sniper from now on because it doesn't make sense to use a shotgun anymore. Even after the shotgun changes we made last season, sliding into every engagement with a shotgun or any weapon is still incredibly effective, and running gun play styles are very low risk. This doesn't make sense, dude. Sliding into every engagement with a shotgun is still incredibly effective. Like, what version of Destiny do they play? If I'm playing against Panda or if I'm playing against Walla, sliding into every engagement with a shotgun is not incredibly effective, nor is it low risk. It's not. It's actually a lot harder. Why? Because good players bait doorways. Good players use verticality to make situations that are not in favor of themselves in favor of themselves. Low risk doesn't make sense. If you are running and gunning and you are playing quickly, why are we penalizing people who are playing aggressively? Why are we penalizing people who are running into spawn points with a shotgun looking to get multi-kills? That isn't low risk. By definition, that is high risk because they're putting themselves at a higher risk to get kills with a close quarters combat weapon. Like, the brain power of whoever wrote this sentence is so subhuman. Run and gun low risk doesn't make sense. Low risk is sitting in the back of a map with a sniper and a controller behind a rally barricade now because you gave them 50% less flinch behind rally barricades. That's low risk. What's the risk in sitting 300 meters away from someone in a fight? That's low risk. How is me getting into someone's face with a hand cannon or a shotgun low risk? That doesn't make sense. This is a change that looks scarier on paper than it feels in practice, in our opinion, and we'll continue to monitor how it plays out. I really hope in practice doesn't mean the people who we've seen showcase your patches before. Because the people who we've seen showcase Destiny patches and Crucible are all ass. And I mean this respectfully. Respectfully. They're dog meat. I could probably play with my screen dimmed on 0 brightness and a broken controller and mop the floor with the people who practice your patches. And this isn't even an ego thing. Like, it's not even an ego thing because we've seen the people on your Twitch streams. We've seen the live streams of you guys play your patches, and you guys literally don't look like you hold fucking controllers every day. You look like you haven't played a video game in months. All right, now that I got that off my chest, while sliding, players now incur the following weapon penalties: -20 stability. So once again, harder to aim, a +15% shotgun pellet spread, so just adding more randomness to your engagements, and 1.5 times the flinch. Titans rally barricade getting a big buff, +30 stability for sitting behind a rally barricade, plus 10% range, and minus 50% flinch. Currently, certain fast-moving abilities allow you to speed through an enemy barricade while taking minimal damage. Okay, so they're fixing you can't run fast through a barricade or you'll take more damage. Barricades now slightly protrude into the ground to better protect the Titan's feet on uneven ground. So is it like bent down? Behemoth. As you may remember, midway through last season, we released a portion of the stasis-related changes. Pretty happy with the effect of those changes, but some of the changes we had another effect to feel state with PvE contact. While equipped, base slide now shatters crystals and frozen enemies. Increased duration of screen effects notifying a crowd clouds alongside is ready from one. Shiver strike, increased movement speed by 25%. Whisper of Rhyme fixed the bug where the overshield provided by Whisper of Rhyme was not scaling precision damage correctly. Extending throwing hammer lifespan. This is gonna make people use Middle Tree Sunbreaker. Kevin Yanes. This was the fucking big hurrah. This was the big idea. Yeah, we're just gonna make it so that your hammer lasts longer by 3.5 seconds. That'll get them to use the hammer. Top and bottom tree striker. Fist of Havoc. Increased slam detonation radius by 14%. Reduce slam damage fall off. Reduce slam attack activation costs. Middle tree striker. Increased duration from 4 to 6 seconds. Sliding over an ammo brick now grants 20. If I had to guess, they're gonna slow your speed down. So it says this change will be balanced out by something we haven't mentioned yet. And inertia override gives you increased weapon damage when you slide over special ammo. So my guess is that for these 6 seconds, you're gonna have delayed, like slower movement speed. Top tree Sentinel. Not dropping a Ward of Dawn on top of a boss is a no-brainer because it's so effective. The goal of this change is to reduce the breadth of encounters solved by Ward of Dawn. So they're nerfing it for PvE. Increased damage taken from bosses at 0 resilience. Damage taken can scale down to 0.25 based on the owner's resilience stat. So just have higher resilience inside bubbles. Revenant. Reduce the radius of the silence freeze. A change is played out well, requiring the Revenant to be more precise. Even now, silence feels like the scarier part of the super. We want Squall to feel more dangerous. Currently, a Squall storm is slow enough that you can kind of ignore a fight until it gets close and relocate. With this speed change, we want players to prioritize relocating when they see an approaching Squall. Additionally, Squall will now stop when it touches a boss, which should make it better for a single. All right, this is a cool change for PvE. Now your Squall will just sit on the boss. There's a known issue where Squall will not start moving again if the boss moves or dies. We hope to further improve this behavior. Silence and Squall. Increase Squall movement by 20%. Withering Blade. Increase projectile speed and tracking by 10%. Okay. This is Withering Blade are the shurikens. So they're increasing the speed of the shurikens by 10%. Middle tree guns. Yeah, this will. I have to breathe sometimes because Top tree gunslinger. This super has been through a lot. No, this super has been overshadowed by horrible developer decision making. Damage fall off now starts at 25 meters instead of 20 meters. Okay, Arcstrider. As we mentioned previously, melee supers such as Arc Staff are struggling a bit in today's sandbox where players move extremely fast, weapons hit hard, yada yada yada. Extended the duration and slam range to help alleviate some of Arc Staff's shortcomings will continue to evaluate super dynamics. No, this is not the reason why people don't play Arcstrider. The reason people don't play Arcstrider is because you can just run from the Arcstrider. So if you're not increasing the speed of the Arcstrider, or you're not giving Arcstrider blink on super, as I've been saying since D2 year 1, just give the shit blink in super. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Give Arcstrider blink while in super. You can do it with Stormcaller. Give Arcstrider a blink. The reason people don't play Arcstrider is because the super is ran away from. You cannot use Arcstrider super offensively. You guys want a little secret? Arcstrider super is to be used defensively. It's when everyone's on top of you, you pop Arcstrider. Smart players aren't going to go next to an Arcstrider, and they're not going to surround him. So what happens to your super? It's literally useless, because as soon as you pop your super against smart players, they just, he's a runner, he's a track star, they just start running. So just extended the super 4 seconds, increase the range heavy slam detonation by 1 meter, increase damage versus PvE. Wow. Deadly reach, increased duration from 8 to 10 seconds. Middle tree, dealing damage with Tempest Strike now triggers lightning weave. Timer can be extended by dealing damage. It's not going to make people play Arcstrider. Make the super faster, make me run faster in the super, or give it blink, Kevin Gaines. Middle tree Night Stalker, Spectral Blades, reduce damage reduction during super from 52% to 47%. Reduce additional damage reduction when invisible. So they nerfed Night Stalk. They nerfed Spectral Blade. Bro, are we all playing the same game? There's no way we're playing the same game. Okay, they nerfed Shadebinder super versus close range supers. You must now freeze and shatter twice. Okay. Top Tree Dawnblade is straight up dominant in PvP. We're taking some measures to make it slightly less so. Celestial Fire, they nerfed the melee tracking. Arming Shape now shrinks over time, so less detonation around walls. Reduce detonation size, so smaller detonation. Damage fall off increase, so they gave it damage fall off now in the melee. Icarus Dash provides 1 dodge every 4 seconds. Heat rises. Duration, increased duration from 10 to 15 seconds. Increased time extension award for kills with heat rises. Location now appears on enemy radar when using heat rises. Wow, they neutered this shit. Middle Tree Dawnblade, increased damage taken from bosses at 0 resil. Increased damage resistance versus enemy players from 20 to 40%. Immune to stasis, freeze, and slow. Well, sword can now be frozen and shattered by stasis. Gilding Flame, increased duration from 7 seconds to 10 seconds. Increased damage buff to 20 to 25 seconds. I mean 20% to 25%. I don't. Once again, the game's getting slower. Bottom Tree Dawnblade. Phoenix Dive. Reduce delay before dive starts. Igniting Touch. Solar ability kills and kills on burning targets now cause targets to explode. Middle Tree Stormcaller. Chaos Reach. Increase beam environment collision size to better match collision size with damage size. Reduce beam damage radius in PvP by 20%. Reduce beam endpoint sphere radius. So they nerfed Chaos Reach a little bit. Bottom Tree Stormcaller. Arc Souls got buffed. Electrostatic Surge increases sprint speed when allies are near. Landfall fires 5 arc ground projectiles on cast. Nova Warp no longer slows movement speed while charging, now detonates on cast. Handheld Supernova, increased damage versus PvE, increased hold time. All right, you guys know where the fuck I stand on this. I can't say anymore. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Thank you guys for watching. If you still watch this long, if you did watch this long, dig dog shit, you are not it. Comment that in the comments and I'll pin one of you guys. Peace.